Is Karen also planning a federal lawsuit on this case?
Do you stand by your testimony that Michael Proctor conducted himself during the course of this investigation with integrity?
Cunt. Yes, I do.
This new lawsuit is probably a very good platform for a lot of that information to be aired out and aired out completely.
The piece was about this big.
Maybe 6 inches?
6 inches.
And we know if a guy says it's 6 inches, it's probably only 4.
Quote, Trooper Michael Proctor displays professional demeanor,
Balloon knot.
composure,
C-U-N-T.
dignity,
Cunt.
and respect.
Alan Jackson called into a local radio station and has some major breaking news. Let's watch.
I've agreed to join Karen and her very capable defense team in the civil action.
That is some big news. Karen was sued by the estate of John O'Keefe, claiming that her wrongful conduct resulted in John's death. Because the claim relates to a car accident for which Karen was driving, her general auto insurance policy will apply. That means the insurance company that issued her policy is paying for the attorneys to defend the case, and they also can pay out up to whatever her policy limits are, which means Karen is not paying for the attorneys to defend this civil case. However, Alan joining means that this civil counsel is now going to have another superstar in their ranks for which they normally wouldn't have.
Federal investigation. Did that federal investigation end?
This next question deals with whether the federal investigation, which we heard of during the trial, is still ongoing.
I've never heard of such a thing. I know what Mr. Brennan said in court about being contacted and there being a closure to the case. I was never contacted. I've never heard a word of that. You just don't do that, especially a federal prosecutor. You don't look at the target, call the target, and say, oh, yeah, we're done. We're done here. What if something new comes up tomorrow, or next week, or next month? You're within the statute. There's no such thing as a quote-unquote closed investigation.
And that spells disaster for our cuddly Higgy Bear because there is no statute of limitations for murder.
Say whatever they want over at the Norfolk DA's office. I'll leave it to the feds to do what the feds do best, and that is to investigate. And that's exactly what I think is continuing to happen.
The first trial seemed like there was just bombshell after bombshell. It was much more McAlbert's heavy, while the second trial was much more database. What went into the decision to kind of switch things up and choose to go down that road at the second time around?
There wasn't a marked difference in what our theme and theory of the case was. The SUV never hit John. He wasn't killed by being hit by a car. In the second trial, it was very clear that the prosecution was going to do something different. They were going to try to style themselves as a data-driven prosecution. We knew that the data helped us. What we decided to do was shift and learn from the first trial that I wanted to press much harder on reasonable doubt and undermining everything they say about the data, because the data actually served our purposes. The data proved that the car did not hit, it did not collide with John O'Keefe. They didn't call certain witnesses.
Instead of focusing on third-party culprits like they did in the first trial, in the second trial, they focused on one main thing. There was no collision between Karen's SUV and John O'Keefe's body.
Didn't call Brian Higgins.
To be honest with you, I mean, I kissed gay Jeff. I was a little embarrassed. Wasn't really proud of him.
They didn't call Brian Albert.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Your Honor, and good afternoon to the jury.
What a creep.
Oh, I don't know. How about Michael Proctor?
She's a whack job cunt.
Who's the retarded client?
I was referring to Miss Reed. Again, Miss
I know
Reed.
you've got an explanation. Who was it you were referring to as retarded?
Miss Reed.
Karen Reed, the woman sitting to my left.
Yes, sir.
The subject of your investigation as a professional, correct?
Yes, sir.
As an unbiased, objective investigator, the person that you were investigating, you referred to your bosses as retarded, correct?
That's what it says, yes.
Michael Proctor then responded again. He wrote, no nudes so far.
That's what it says, yes.
And then you responded.
I acknowledged it by responding with a thumbs up emoji.
As we come to learn, this is Yuri Buchanan.
Yuri Buchanan.
Sergeant Buchanan.
Sergeant Buchanan.
How do I say it?
Buchanan.
He was Michael Proctor's supervisor.
What do you see on the top of that page?
Sergeant Buchanan liked it.
What?
The going through his retarded client's phone, sir.
So your supervisors at Massachusetts State Police not only didn't ride you for making comments like this, encouraged it. Trooper Proctor told you, his supervisor, in this series of text messages, that he was going through Miss Reed's phone, looking for nudes.
No nudes so far.
Or naked pictures of her on her phone, correct?
He did not tell me that he was going through the naked pictures, for naked pictures through the phone.
He wrote, no nudes so far, right?
That is what is written, yes.
What did you think he was looking for when he wrote that phrase?
I don't know what he was looking for.
Would be a reasonable interpretation of what Michael Proctor was looking for when he wrote, "No nudes so far."
I don't know.
Motorcycles, handbags, pair of shoes, or naked pictures of Miss Karen Reed?
His mission was to go through the phone to look for digital evidence that's related to the crime. The fact that he wrote "no nude so far," I cannot comment on.
Last week you testified that in your view, Michael Proctor handled himself in this investigation with integrity.
She's a whack job cunt.
That's what you said, correct?
That's correct.
Do you stand by that testimony?
The investigation was handled with integrity and honor.
Do you stand by your testimony that Michael Proctor conducted himself during the course of this investigation with integrity?
Cunt.
Yes, I do.
He also called her retarded, correct?
That is what's written.
That's what's written, or that's what he wrote?
That's what he wrote.
And that's what you read?
I have no memory of reading that. I acknowledged him going through the phone on my Apple Watch. I have no memory of him writing retarded on a text message.
You actually went on to write and comment on Michael Proctor. Quote, Trooper Michael Proctor displays professional demeanor,
Balloon knot.
composure,
C-U-N-T.
dignity,
Cunt.
and respect. Trooper Proctor, explain to the jurors what a balloon knot is.
Your, essentially, I guess your rectum area.
Your anus?
Yes.
That's what you were referring to about Miss Reed?
Yes.
And you were making fun of her because you believed at that time that it leaked? That's how you were treating Miss Reed?
Look at the death stare on Yannetti.
Yes or no?
Yes.
During the performance of his duties, and especially during his interactions with the public. This is seen during interviews with witnesses, suspects,
She's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though. No ass. She's fucked.
as well as victims and their families. End quote. That was a statement you wrote about Michael Proctor, correct?
That is correct.
And this is after the text chain that we've just been talking about, where he calls Miss Reed retarded and references looking for nude photographs of her, correct?
That is correct.
Was your statement in that evaluation true or false?
It was true.
The lead investigator on whose shoulders you base the entire prosecution, and you don't call him. He's an embarrassment.
Do you believe that there was a conspiracy to frame Karen Reed, or do you think it was just awful investigative work?
It's a combination of both, and this case is actually very simple to solve. The real issue was in trial number 1, we missed Higgy Bear threatening old John O'Keefe just moments before he left the bar.
It's a combination of both. It went beyond just incompetence. You could read in Michael Proctor's text messages
She's a whack job cunt.
that it wasn't just incompetence. He had a thought process about her.
How did you respond to Bird saying, "Good, no ass bitch"?
I laughed.
Thought that was funny, did you, Trooper Proctor? Thought that was funny?
It was unprofessional of me. That's something I shouldn't have done.
Well, I think we all know it was unprofessional. It was a lot of things. I'm asking
Yep.
you, did you think it was funny?
According to my response at the time, apparently.
From nearly day one, right? 16 hours into the investigation, he was already determining that he was going to make sure it was going to get pinned on the girl.
She's fucked.
She's fucked. 17 hours into this investigation, Trooper Proctor, you made the decision that you were going to put it on Miss Reed, didn't you?
No, absolutely not.
What did you mean then when you said she's fucked?
She's going to receive a thorough, unbiased investigation that will last so long as it takes in order to find the real killer.
Brian Higgins.
After the day's investigation with multiple troopers conducting multiple tasks, debriefing at Canton PD amongst detectives in my office, we went through the overwhelming amount of evidence against Miss Reed that she struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle.
She's going to pay for this. Right? He said it out loud. He said the quiet part out loud.
Since the second trial, there have been videos, photos of inside 34 Fairview. It seems like the new owners let you guys inside, whether you were down in the basement looking at the flooring that was pulled up inside the garage.
Right.
There was a video of you outside yelling and from the Albert's bedroom. Will there be any type of way to dive deeper into that?
I want to personally thank the new owners of 34 Fairview for allowing pretty much anyone to come in and do any type of viewing or testing.
The pain point that the plaintiffs are going to have in their civil suit is this is a very different lawsuit.
Alan Jackson is confirming some other major breaking news. There will be a federal lawsuit filed on behalf of Karen Reed against various defendants, including the Massachusetts State Police.
It's not a criminal lawsuit, and it's certainly not being governed by Judge Beverly Cannoni, who kept out so much of that information. That's why you're seeing it on social media rather than having seen it in the courtroom. All of it was relevant. We attempted to get most of it in, and we were denied, both in the first trial and the second trial. This new lawsuit is probably a very good platform for a lot of that information to be aired out and aired out completely.
So
Correct.
is Karen also planning a federal lawsuit on this case?
That's an interesting question, not one that I'm willing to talk about right now. We'll see what this new lawsuit entails.
Alan, you did have a good officer on the stand, though, for you guys, and Officer Barrows. He's the reason that the jury swayed in your direction. I mean, he seemed like he was almost a smoking gun.
Nick Barrows is a hero, no question.
100% agree, and there he is, old Nick Barrows.
The taillight was damaged, but there was a crack missing, but it was not completely damaged. The piece was about maybe this big,
Maybe 6 inches?
6 inches.
And we know if a guy says it's 6 inches, it's probably only 4.
And how wide?
That wide, maybe 3 inches.
Most of the men and women carrying a badge and carrying a gun do God's work every single day, and he's among those. He had the guts to get up on the witness stand and tell the jurors exactly what he saw, and what he saw was that taillight was not completely smashed out.
Is this the condition of the right rear taillight when you showed up at the Reed household in the afternoon on January 29th, 2022?
Absolutely not.
Describe in detail for the jurors what is different about this taillight as it's photographed here.
That middle section was intact when I was there. Towards that right side, where that large chunk is, that's what was missing.
He is an absolute hero.
100% agree, and my man Nick Barrows telling the truth. It's not that hard. You don't have to hide behind some blue wall. And the corrupt troopers in the state of Massachusetts can learn from King Lucky. Just tell the truth.
To him, there was no thin blue line. He's going to tell the truth because that's what he does.
I want to say something to Dave. We went through 2 trials, and I can say this honestly. I've never met a gentleman, a defense attorney, that considers me a friend. I consider you a friend, and you were so great. You asked as little as you could of me, and I gave you as much as I could give you. The other thing I just want to know is that it was a tough decision to get involved, but it was the right decision. It was the correct decision, and I wouldn't change it at all.
God love you.
Thank you.
This crime was very simple to solve because it took place within a very small area over a very short period of time with a very limited amount of suspects. One or more of these 10 people has to be the killer of John O'Keefe. That's how easy this is. Once you remove the kids and the McCabe's, you're down to just 3 suspects: Brian Albert, Higgy Bear, and Chloe. Since Chloe's a good dog, she didn't do it, so that leaves just 2 suspects, Brian Albert and Higgy Bear. But of the 2 Brians, only one had the means, motive, and opportunity to kill John O'Keefe, and that's our old cuddly but violent Higgy Bear. Once we had all the facts and didn't jump to conclusions, do you see how easy it was to solve this crime? And like Alan Jackson, Karen Reed, and the FBI, we are not going to stop producing these videos until the real killer,
Brian Higgins,
is brought to justice.